And for today's episode, we are going to be learning how to make these tiny, miniature, cute little envelopes. It's 45 different designs. They're all available at my coffee shop. It's free. It's 5 pages and 9 envelopes per page. You can download it. You don't have to print all 45. You can use whichever ones you want and print and follow along. It's really nice. You can print them and use them on your journal, scrapbooking, etc. So I'm just going to show you a few ways in which we can use it. And as we go along, we would learn how to make these envelopes. So this is the previous journal. So it's a nice spread. And this is another way. So it adds that really nice touch to your journals. This envelope, just a design where we can use it as a pocket and put our ephemera, letters, note tags, etc. There's another one used as a pocket here as well, where you can place your tags. This is another way that you can use these miniature envelopes, like a flip out to fold out, and I made it tiny so we can have more space to journal and add interest. So someone who's looking at the journal will just be captivated and fascinated and not bored with it. So it flips out and the flap is here. And this was made using an upcycled regular white envelope. And then you can place your letter into here and fold it over. So it's a nice, cute little surprise. And for the rest of the miniature envelopes, this is how you would use them in your journals. It's nice to add like one big envelope and one small envelope. You could just put your note inside and attach it with a paper clip and add your tags or letters as the case may be. Just look for a nice matching page. And you can also attach them to the top of the page. And with that cute little paper clip, it just brings out such a cuteness in your journal and elegance. And that is what we look for in journaling, that elegance. You know, back in the days, those ladies were thoroughly elegant with all their lace and doilies, etc. And for this one, we don't have to attach it to a paper clip. We can add it to our pocket as a nice loaded pocket and just add it into your pocket like that. So they will have a nice little envelope. And open it, there's a top spot in there, and then you could add your ephemera, tags, and whatever else to go in there. I just want to do a quick flip through of the 9 envelopes that we had prepared in the previous video. It's available free at my coffee shop. Just stop in there and download them and fold them. And there's a full tutorial on it for each of the enclosures. These are the big envelopes that we are going to be using and inserting into our journals as we go along. You can download them, use the same templates, print them, use them, and you can also create your own templates with your cardstock or for scrapbooking, junk journal, etc. And these are the images we're going to be working with today. There's 5 pages in all, 9 images on each page, so that's 45 envelopes. So these are elegant miniature envelopes, and the type of paper that was used, this paper is called bold digital. You can use photo paper or you can use regular paper, but for best results you want a high quality paper. But if you don't have that and you have regular paper, that's fine to use as well. So what we're going to do firstly is cut off these papers, cut around the paper, and the edges have been inked with um, the template that was designed, and all of these designs are available at my coffee shop. It's free to download. You can check it out, or you can send me an email. In these images, I have incorporated a touch of Victorian elegance and romantic letter writing. It's what they used to use in the olden days, mixed with a little touch of sassiness. They're all of different designs. Really, really elegant envelopes. That's what I was looking for. Each of them are different and unique in its own way. And this is the last page. So we're just going to cut one. And these are the two sheets that we have for the background page. The background page for the envelopes, since most of the envelopes has a tad bit of a touch of blush pink. And this is a generic neutral browns with nice pretty handwriting and swirls and leaves, and it's also generic and can match with any one of the envelopes as a background. For the cutting purpose, I use two type of scissors. This is a regular scissors, so I use a regular scissors to cut around the edges. And because the flap is curved, I use a detailing scissors, and this is a detailing scissors, so you can get it cut really nicely. And a detailing scissors is what you would use if you're doing fussy cut also. So it gets into the corner like here, and it's easier to cut and it gives a neater finish. And this is our first envelope. So I'll come back and show you what we will do with it. So I'm going to cut all the envelopes and then come back. And now we're going to make the envelope using an upcycled envelope. So this is an upcycled envelope. This is an envelope that I had that I cut. I already made one from it and I inked the edges. Inking the edges is important to hide all of that white spots, even if it's a tad bit. It just gives a complete finish to the envelope. And this is the envelope and it folds over like this. So we're going to make one. So this is an example of an upcycled envelope. So firstly, take the envelope and we're going to measure it to the corner of the envelope, just like this. And just draw it out. It's a brown marker because you're going to ink around. And then we're going to cut it, and we're also going to cut the background that we're going to use for this. And for this one, I would be using the cream background because I think it matches better. So because we have to cut the background and the front, we're going to put the both of them together. So we could just make one cut. I'm just going to cut this part of the envelope out just to make it easier. And we're going to place it here and cut both of them together. And now we have two pieces, one for the front and one for the back. So we're just going to glue it on. Just going to use a glue stick for this. And then I'm going to attach the back. To use a glue stick again. And then you're going to make your fold where the flap is going to be. This should be here. And fold it over both sides. going to cut this little strip here. Then we're going to cut off the top flap and stick it onto here because this is where our opening is going to be. So now that we've cut it and stuck it on, our opening to stick in is over here. So we're going to tape these two sides together. Use your bone folder, press it in. And what I did was trimmed off a tiny tad 2mm strip there, just so it's easy to fold, so that there is no squeezing of the paper. So now I'm going to ink around the edges. This is what it looks like when the edges have been inked, the front and the back. And inside here is where you would put your letter. I'm just putting a card just to show you, but it's where you'll put your letters and so on. Let me show you what we're going to do with the first set of envelopes. I will not be showing you all of the envelopes because it's 45 of them and that's quite a lot, but as we go along I will show you ways in which we can use it. So this is a journal that we made earlier on our video. You can check it out. If not, the printables for this journal, it's available at my coffee shop. It's free, so just hop in there and have a look. So I have used this page, and this is one of the envelopes that I have attached to this page, so you can add your letter or your tag or whatever you choose to at some point in time. So I didn't show you this one, so I'm going to show you how we're going to attach this one to this page. It is like a journal embellishment, and you can also put your tags, letters, pockets, tucks. It works in multiple ways. So for this one, we're going to cut out the flap. This here's the flap. Just cut it out. And now we're going to attach this part onto here and then put our flap so it opens out. So to do this, we're going to use, we can't use printed paper and we can't use cardstock for everything, because as you know, I try to do, because these are printed, and so some pages in the journal, I use a bit of printed material, upcycled book pages, upcycled file folder, fabric, etc. So just use any book page. I've used this book page and just trace it out. I do it freehand. You're only going to go around the straight edge, the corner, and you're tracing it into a tapered manner. This is what we say when we call a tapered manner. Probably about 1/2 inch. You can measure if you wish. You can measure if you wish. There's no need to measure because this goes in the back. Everything is hidden, and this also gives some extra reinforcement to your envelope, especially if you printed it out on thinner paper than cardstock. If you printed it on cardstock, it still also gives that extra hold for those of you who are using these envelopes for scrapbooking purposes. And you just come right around here and to the edge here, just draw out. So this works like a template, and you can use it over and over again. You can put your own designs and so on. And when you cut out the template that you've done for this envelope, it's going to look like this. So now we're going to score it, and this is how I do my scoring. For those of you who have seen my video before, I don't use a scoreboard. I just think it takes a lot of time. For those of you who wish to, you can do so. I use a metal ruler. Just place it where I have my score tip. Bring it forward. With the scoring tool, and just score it. And if you don't have a scoring tool, any type of sharp-edged would work. A credit card, old phone card, anything that's a thick sort of plastic. You don't need a bone folder. And after you've scored it up, you're going to score it to the back. Score it both sides, just for easier, crisper fold. So I have chosen to use a lot of upcycling and printed to ensure we have a pretty journal, because for those of you who do crafting, or crafting as a hobby, or crafting for commercial use, or even crafting for YouTube videos, will know that it's quite expensive and quite costly to do so. So this is our template. This is our envelope. We're going to stick it down just like this. So get your glue. To all the corners. And place your envelope right on top, and it should be a perfect fit because we've used this exact template without anything showing. No one would even know there's a book page under there. And you can also re-ink the edges if you wish. I'm not doing that for the sake of this video and for sake of time, but you can ink your edges. And any extra white part, like I see a tiny bit here, you can just cut it off with the scissors. And now we're going to take our envelope, place a tiny amount of glue to the back of our book page. And I like to have it haphazardly, so it gives a nice bit of contrast to our page. Just attach it on. Use your bone folder to help crease it down and stick it down. And when you open your, stick it down to the center as well. Go into the and whatever you choose to place in here, whether it's a card, a letter, a talk, you have that open spot to place it. So now we're just going to apply the flap. And to attach the flap, you take the flap and you draw to the length of the flap, maybe just about 1 mm short on each side. And this one, we're going to make it a bit wider, like maybe 3/4 of an inch. I just freehand and draw it. Of course, you can use the ruler if you wish. And then we're going to cut it out. Now we're going to attach the flap to our cutout using this part here, the bigger part. Attach the flap like this. Attach the flap like this, place it down, and just attach like it's maybe about 2 mm. We're going to cover up the inside of this flap, and for this we're going to attach a piece of lace, and for this I'm going to use my fabric tack and attach this on and then cut it so we get a neater cut. You can use any sort of pink, something to match with the envelope. You can use anything else. And then we're going to cut around it so we get that neat finish. And then we attach it on. And then we stick it down with the bone folder. So there we go. We have this lovely, pretty, elegant envelope. Open it up. Apply the glue to the edge. Stick it right around. Do the other side. Just cut the strip. Same for the last side. Just use scrap paper that you have. Then you taper all the corners. And then fold it over to the back. Use the bone folder and crease it. Remember, the pink is not supposed to be showing through. And then tape the pocket down to exactly where you want it. Press it down with the bone folder. And you have a pocket where you can add your tags. So for this envelope, I've gone ahead and cut it, and I've used a piece of craft paper, brown craft paper, and cut it out just the exact same size as the envelope, and taper the edges like what we've been doing before. And now I'm going to attach the front part to the envelope. Just like this. And this is where we have our spot. And now we're going to attach the flap. So this is the flap, and to attach the flap I've taken a piece of craft tape, just a tiny piece of craft tape, attach it here, and then we're going to place it right to the edge of where it usually is, and it will close down just like this. And open like this. And then we're going to attach a piece of washi tape over the flap to secure it in place. And this is now our envelope, and you can add whatever you wish inside. It's such a cute little envelope. To open it, and you can even decorate here, put a piece of decorative strip in here. I'm not going to do that, but you can if you wish to. You can put a little card in there. And now we're going to taper the edges. Fold it over. And attach it to our colored piece. Now you do have the option of placing the colored piece like this, where you have a white background, or like this. I'm going to place mine like this. Stick it down. And we have our opening here to put our stuff. Also, come inside. and get really in there in the grooves and stick it down so it's firmly secured. And now we're going to attach the flap with a piece of craft tape. Then fold it over, just to make sure you're getting that fold. Ensure the craft tape has it securely. And now we're going to do the last step. Never mind if it's haphazardly. Now we're going to do the last step and put washi tape over it. Just get a color washi tape that matches. And when we're applying washi tape, we want to also apply some glue, because washi tape is not a very sticky tape. Just cut off the excess. This is our envelope. Then we have our part here where we can put in anything that we wish. So this is the front, this is the opening, and this is where you can place your card or your letter or whatever it is inside. And this is the back with our design and the washi tape. And you can even use this as a perfect happy meal to send to someone with a cute thank you note or any purpose that you wish. But it's for my purpose, I'm using it for my junk journals. This envelope with the brown background. So again, cut the envelope where it folds. Cut out this piece because you don't need it. Use the background, measure it, and just cut the envelope according to the size. Cut the background according to the size of the envelope. Then we're going to add our tapered edges to attach the two together. And the reason we add the tapered edges and not just stick it down is because if you were to stick it down, over here would be too tight to insert anything. And now we're going to stick the background piece. We have already tapered the inside like how I showed you earlier on. So press it down to the back and press it down. And now we're going to apply our flap. And to give it a complete look, this part that we had cut out, just apply some glue on it and attach it back into the inner corner. Just like this. So you have your lining. And now for the flap, we're going to add the craft tape. And we're going to add the flap just like this. Just get it all aligned. Press it down with the bone folder. Fold it over. Now we're going to put a piece of washi tape around the edge. Now we're going to add glue first because like I said, washi tape is not a really strong tape and we want this to be strong. And now this here, you don't need to add washi tape. You can add anything else. You can add lace, you can add trim, you can add a gold, you can add regular craft paper, you can add scrapbook paper, you can add anything that you have at hand. And now to finish off with this tiny envelope in the vellum, we can just place it like this and tie it with a nice bow. You can use blue, you can use white, you can use any color. Just to finish it off so we can add it into our journal. I'm using gold because the navy blue and the white and the gold, I think it adds that elegance. And this is our final 6 envelopes that we have created. And just as a reminder, these are the 9 envelopes that we had done before. It's available free on my Ko-fi shop, so stop in there and download them. 9 different templates, nice complete envelopes that you can just fold.